Okay, so long overdue garden update. Today is September 19th. And if you remember, 2 weeks ago I did a video on these garden in a bags that I had gotten at Tractor Supply. I got thyme, cilantro, and basil. And they have been sitting up there on my windowsill. And I just took the greenhouse toppers off of them about a week ago. And oops, let me back up a little and see. The thyme is doing really good. The cilantro, I have a couple coming in. And the basil is doing really good. I just sprayed them down. All I do is spray them every other day with a little bit of water, and then they just sit on my windowsill. So yep, so they're doing really good. So if you can find them in your Tractor Supply and you have the window space to put them in, I suggest getting them because they were only $5 a piece and they're doing really good. And if you do get them, go check out my video that I did a couple weeks ago on how to actually put them together, because they gave you way too much soil than you needed, so you won't waste your soil. Watch that video and I'll show you and explain how to do it. So let's go outside and check on that garden. Alright, here's a garden update. Haven't done one in a while. As you know, we got hit by Irma and life's been crazy. So, oops, focus camera. Green bean, or not green bean, sorry. Carrots are coming up in here. I think that's a weed. But, got some coming in. Got Tigger out here helping me. And the grapes, now that the storm has passed, we're going to look at putting a trellis up, but we have another hurricane out there that we need to keep an eye on first. Pomegranate's doing good. It was even growing mushrooms the other day, so had to pick those out of there. I had to take the netting off before the storm hit, and so my pesto basil, something had attacked it, but it's coming back. So I need to put the netting back over it. Been dealing with caterpillars on my tomatoes, but that one's starting to come back. And sadly, that one is completely dead. And that one's coming back a little bit. I need to put netting around them. That one's doing really good. Blueberries are doing good. And go over here. We finally got the orange tree put in the ground. And the banana plant survived. Okra's still going strong. I get usually 1 or 2 palm-sized ones every other day off of it. I have a quart-sized baggie full of big ones already. Quick, before I finish the garden, we had to do a little bit of rearranging. The horse is becoming stubborn and kicked me the other day, and we had to, the horse was in this first stall, or pen, so we moved her into where the chickens were, so she's all by herself over there, and now the chickens are in the front one, so we go from the chickens to the ducks to the goats without being kicked and beaten up by the horse. So, and of course my ferocious little Tiggers out here, and my damage, my poor house. We just moved in here in December too, so we got to get dirt there. All these cinder blocks need to be put back up. And there's a couple of cinder blocks at the front of at the other end of the house by the kids' rooms that are loose. So we need to put more stuff around them. Alright, back up here to the garden. And the pole beans. Is that what? Yeah. These are the pole beans. And they're not doing much of anything right now. I don't know if I planted them too late, but they're getting big though. These are, at least. And surprisingly, the netting stayed on these two. I guess I staked them in really good, but the netting stayed on these two through the hurricane. And the lima beans are looking good. I was worried about them for a while, but I don't know if you can see, but it looks like some of the beans are starting to pop out on them. My white flower, oops, sorry Tigger. There's only 2 blooms on it. Oh, it's getting some green back on it though. Purple one looks like it's starting to come back again. Red one's doing really good. We got 3 heads of lettuce coming up in this pool. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heads of lettuce in this one. Need to cut back on the green onions and freeze them and then let them regrow. The greenhouse stayed up pretty good. It didn't fly away or anything. But then again, it was tied down like Fort Knox. Tied from there, there, and there over to a tree. And then tied from that top and that bottom over to the tree. And the best for last, I was so excited. My green bean, or my black-eyed peas actually have pods on them. I've got a bunch of pods. There's a big one. There's some. There's a bunch down in there. And then there's a big one. There's some. There's some. I was so excited. I thought they were dying, but there's a whole group of them. So, yep. My black-eyed peas are a success in the pool. They're growing. I just have to wait for the pods to turn pretty much black, and then I can pick them. So, yep. So my garden's doing pretty good. We survived the storm. I mean, granted, if you remember on my other videos how lush and full these looked, and they're all blown over now. But they survived though. So that's all for this week. I'll do another garden update. Maybe the end of the week. Maybe next week. We'll see how things go around here. So until next time, see y'all later.